So let's start with discussing the marks versus expected percentile for both shift 1 and shift 2 based on the difficulty level of the shift. Also, going ahead, we'll also be discussing the important topics that was asked in the shift 1 and shift 2 exam today, and this will also help you to prepare for the future upcoming shifts in the JEE Main Session 1 exam. So stay tuned till the end of this video. So as you can see on the screen, the shift 1 was moderate to difficult, where chemistry and mathematics was among the toughest, where chemistry section was kind of, it came unpredictable, as most of the candidates were expecting it to be easy, but somehow it turned out to be moderate to difficult and little lengthy too. Maths was as expected, moderate to tough, and physics was something that got a balance between both, and like it was easy and kind of all the questions were doable, and the numerical questions were directly formula based, so candidate were easily able to do it. So that is the reason why shift 1 was moderate to difficult, but when it comes to shift 2, the shift 2 was moderate, means in the chemistry section the overall difficulty level was moderate, physics was kind of easy and doable, like easy to moderate, we can say a mix of both, as we have received a mixed reaction, and math was little difficult compared to physics and chemistry. So let's take a look at what will be the expected percentile for shift 1 and shift 2 for different marks range. So as you can see, if a candidate wishes to score 99.99 percentile in exam, then he and she need to ensure that in shift 1 he is or she is getting 235 marks, and in shift 2 a candidate with 245 marks can get 99.99 percentile. When it comes to 99.9 percentile, candidate with 227 marks in shift 1 and 241 marks in shift 2 can get 99.9 percentile. For 99 percentile or above, candidate need to have a minimum of 160 to 165 marks in JEE Main Session 1 exam in shift 1, whereas when it comes to shift 2, candidate with 182 marks can get 99 percentile in JEE. So when it comes to 98 percentile, candidate need to have minimum of 142 marks, and fit with 159 marks in shift 2, candidate can get 98 percentile. For 97 percentile, candidate need to have a minimum of 128 marks in shift 1, and for shift 2, candidate need to get a minimum of 146 marks to get 97 percentile. And when it comes to 96 percentile, candidate with 118 marks can get 96 percentile in shift 1, and 125 marks is required in the shift 2 to get 96 percentile. So this is the expected percentile marks versus percentile range for 96 to 99.99. Further we'll be discussing more on the marks versus expected percentile for both shift 1 and shift 2. So when it comes to 95 percentile, candidate need to have minimum of 110 marks in shift 1 and 127 in shift 2. For 94, 102 is needed in shift 1 and 119 is needed in shift 2. For getting 93 percentile, a minimum of 96 marks is needed in shift 1 and 113 marks in shift 2. For 92 percentile, candidate need to get a minimum of 91 percentile in shift 1 and 106 marks in shift 2. For 91 percentile, candidate need to get minimum of 86 marks in shift 1 and 101 marks in shift 2. Candidate must note that this is the minimum percentile required to qualify for the JEE Advanced exam. So if you ask me for JEE Advanced how much you need, so candidate with 96 marks in shift 1 and 113 marks or plus in shift 2 can expect to be eligible for the JEE Advanced exam. And for 90 percentile, it's 82 and 96 in shift 2. Next, for 85 percentile, candidate need to get a minimum of 65 in shift 1 and 77 marks in shift 2. For 80 percentile, 51 marks in shift 1 and 60 marks in shift 2. For 75 percentile, 41 marks in shift 1 and 49 marks in shift 2. For 70 percentile, 38 marks in shift 1 and 44 marks in shift 2. And for 65 percentile, candidate need to get minimum of 34 marks in shift 1 and 40 marks in shift 2. Moving ahead, next let's take a look at some of the important topic wise weightage from day 1 session 1 exam if you are preparing for the future sessions or future exams. Candidate must note that there was some surge in the topic weightage for some few chapters, so make sure you stick till the end of this video. So this is the analysis that we have received from the student, and we have added for physics, chemistry and mathematics on how many number of questions were asked from different topics. As you can see on the screen, in physics from capacitor, one question was asked in shift 1 and two questions are asked in the shift 2. In thermodynamics, 2 to 3 questions are asked in the shift 2, whereas in unit dimension, one question was asked in shift 1 and two questions are asked in the shift 2. For in modern physics, 2 to 3 questions were asked in the shift 1 and two questions were asked in the shift 2. In ray optics, 1 to 2 questions were asked in the shift 1 and one question was asked in the shift 2. In current electricity, 2 questions were asked in the shift 2 and one question was asked in the shift 1. Moving ahead, we have chemistry. So as you can see on the screen, from coordinate compound, 3 questions were asked in the shift 1 and one was asked in the shift 2. When it comes to chemical bonding, 2 to 3 questions were asked in the shift 1 and there was an increase in the weightage. Same in the shift 2, 2 questions were asked. From GOC, one question was asked in the shift 1 and one question was asked in the shift 2. Mole concept, 3 to 4 questions were asked in the shift 1, which was very first time it was asked 3 to 4 questions. Then from basic principle and technique, one question was asked in the shift 1. Next, from chemical equilibrium, one question was asked in the shift 2. From ionic equilibrium, one question was asked in the shift 2. From thermodynamics, one question asked in the shift 2, and from P block, one question was asked in the shift 1 and two questions were asked in the shift 2. From electrochemistry, one question was asked in the shift 1 and 1 to 2 questions were asked in the shift 2. Next, as you can see on the screen, hydrocarbons, biomolecules, D block, salt analysis, periodic properties. So periodic properties has highest weightage, that is 2 questions are asked in the shift 2. D block had 1 question and biomolecules has 1 question in shift 2. Next, for mathematics, 2 to 3 questions are asked from vectors 3D. From sequence series, 1 question was asked. From integration, 1 question was asked. Then from set relation, 2 questions were asked in the session 1 day 1 exam. For limit and continuity, 1 question was asked, and from straight line, the weightage had 2 questions. So thank you for watching the video. If you like the video and the data present in it, then make sure to like and subscribe the channel. Also, if you wish to know the cutoff for any specific college and course, then make sure to comment down the same in the comment section.